I want to start by showing you the quickest way any business owner, whether you're a consultant, a SaaS founder, or an e-commerce giant, can turn their website visitors into paying customers. But first, we have to address the elephant in the room. Here is the brutal truth about website conversions that nobody in the marketing industry wants to admit to you. Most websites convert at less than 2%. Let that sink in for a second. That means for every 100 people you drive to your site, using paid ads, SEO, or sweat equity on social media, 98 of them leave without doing a single thing. They don't buy, they don't call, they don't subscribe, they bounce. If you had a physical retail store and 98 out of 100 people walked in, looked around, and walked out immediately, you'd think your store was on fire. Yet, we accept this as normal online. But here's what's crazy. I just discovered why this happens and how to fix it forever. Last week, I was deep diving into conversion data from hundreds of websites across different industries, and I noticed a wild anomaly. The sites that are crushing it, I'm talking conversion rates of 15%, 20%, or higher, all do one thing differently. They don't try to sell anything on their homepage. Wait, that sounds backwards, right? You built a website to sell, so why wouldn't you sell? Here's the psychological reality. High-converting websites understand that human beings follow a specific decision-making timeline. People aren't ready to buy when they first visit. They are in information-gathering mode. Their guard is up. They are skeptical. So, instead of trying to close the sale immediately, these smart websites focus on one thing and one thing only: capturing the lead. Think about it like this. Let's introduce a hypothetical business owner, Marcus. Marcus runs a consulting firm. His website is beautiful, but immediately upon landing, the headline says, "Hire me for $5,000. Marcus is treating his website like a desperate party host. Imagine going to a cocktail party. You walk in, you haven't even taken off your coat, and the host runs up to you and asks you to marry them. That is weird. That is pushy. And what do? You back away slowly and leave the party. Smart hosts and smart websites invite people in. They take your coat. They offer you a drink. They make you comfortable. They build a relationship first. That is exactly what a lead magnet architecture does. Here is how the mechanics work. Instead of bombarding visitors with buy now buttons that trigger their sales resistance, you offer them something valuable for free, something they actually want. In exchange, they give you their email address. This taps into a deep psychological trigger called the law of reciprocity. When you give someone value first, they biologically feel a need to give something back. In this case, their attention and contact info. Now you have permission to follow up. You have moved the conversation from a public website to a private inbox. But most people mess this up completely. They create boring, lazy lead magnets like "sign up for our newsletter" or "10 tips for better marketing." Let me be clear. Subscribe to our newsletter is not an offer. It's a demand. Nobody wakes up in the morning hoping to get more emails. The websites that are dominating right now offer hyper-specific solutions to urgent bleeding neck problems. Instead of marketing tips, they offer the 5-minute email template that generated $50K in sales last month. See the difference? One is vague, boring, and demands effort to read. The other is specific, compelling, and promises a result. But getting the email is just the beginning. The real magic, the mechanism that builds wealth, happens in what I call the conversion funnel stack. This is where 90% of businesses fall apart. Let's say someone downloads your lead magnet. What happens next? On most websites, absolutely nothing. They get the download, a generic thank you page, and they never hear from you again. That is like getting a phone number from a stunning person at that party and then never calling them. It is a total waste of effort. Smart websites have a sequence ready to fire. The moment someone opts in, they get pulled into an automated ecosystem. Email 1, minute 0, the delivery, instant gratification. Email 2, day 1, the epiphany bridge. You share a story or bonus content that shifts their worldview. Email 3, day 2, social proof. You show a case study of someone else succeeding with your method. Email 4, day 3, the soft offer. Now, and only now, do you invite them to the next step. This isn't rocket science, but hardly anyone does it right because they are lazy. They want the sale without the courtship. And here is where it gets really interesting. The top 1% of websites don't just capture emails, they segment their leads immediately based on psychographics. Think about it. Let's say you run a fitness site. Someone who downloads a guide about bulking up for summer has completely different needs than someone downloading post-pregnancy weight loss. But most websites treat all leads exactly the same. That is like a restaurant giving every single customer a steak, even the vegetarians. It makes no sense, and it kills your conversion rate. Smart websites ask one simple question during the opt-in process. A simple drop-down that asks, "What's your biggest challenge right now?" Option A, getting more traffic. Option B, converting leads. Option C, retaining clients. Then, based on that one click, the website sends a completely different follow-up sequence tailored to that specific pain. This one change can double your conversion rates overnight because relevance equals revenue. But wait, there is more. The websites that really dominate use micro-commitments. Human brains are wired to resist big changes. If I ask you for $500 right now, your brain screams, "Risk." But if I ask you to watch a 30-second video, your brain says, "Sure, that's easy." The best funnels bridge this gap. After someone opts in, instead of immediately pitching a massive main offer, you ask for a tiny action. Watch a short video. Fill out a 3-question survey. Join a free Facebook group. Each small yes triggers a dopamine hit. It creates a pattern of compliance. When you finally ask for the sale, their brain is already in yes mode. And here's the part that blew my mind when I analyzed the data. The best websites actually use their lead magnets to pre-qualify prospects. They don't just give away random free stuff. They give away the first step of their paid solution. Let's say you sell a comprehensive course on building sales funnels. Instead of offering 10 funnel tips, you give away the actual funnel template you use in Module 1 of your course. People who download it and use it are now perfect candidates for the full course. You are literally giving them a taste of what it is like to work with you. When they see results from the free template, buying the full course becomes a no-brainer. Now, let's pivot to the technical side because this is where good strategy dies due to bad execution. Your opt-in forms matter more than you think. I'm talking about the friction on your page. The wrong headline, button color, or form placement can kill your conversions. I have seen websites double their opt-in rates just by changing the button text from "Submit" to "Get my free guide." Submit sounds like doing taxes. It implies giving something up. Get my free guide implies receiving value. And timing? Timing is everything. Those pop-ups that appear the millisecond you load the page? They are annoying. They insult the user. But pop-ups that appear after someone has been on your site for 30 seconds? Those work great because the user has had time to look around. And here is a trick almost nobody knows. Exit intent technology. These are pop-ups that only trigger when the user's mouse breaks the top plane of the browser window, when they are about to close the tab. It is your Hail Mary pass. It's your last chance to say, "Hey, before you go, take this free gift." It works because there is zero downside and they were leaving anyway. But the biggest mistake I see, and this is prevalent in e-commerce and local business sites, is clutter. Having too many options on your homepage. Psychologists call this decision paralysis. When people are presented with too many choices, their anxiety spikes and they choose nothing. The highest converting websites have one clear path, one main offer, one call to action. Everything else is just a distraction. Think about Google's homepage. It is one of the most complex tech companies in history, yet their homepage is a white screen with a search box. That simplicity is intentional. They want you to do one thing: search. Your website should be the same way. Pick your best lead magnet and make it the star of the show. Finally, none of this matters if you don't follow up. The rule of 7 inches in marketing states that a prospect needs to hear your message an average of 7 times before they buy. Most businesses give up after 1 or 2 emails. The money is not in the list. The money is in the relationship with the list. Keep providing value. Share your wins. Share your losses. Some of your best customers will come from people who didn't buy for 6 months. Here is the bottom line. Your website should work like a 24/7 salesperson who never sleeps, never asks for a raise, and never takes a coffee break. It should attract the right people, capture their information, build trust, and guide them toward a purchase. Most websites are just digital brochures. They sit there looking pretty, stroking the founder's ego, but they don't actually do anything. That is why conversion rates are so low. But when you turn your website into a lead generation machine using this framework, everything changes. Instead of hoping people will buy, you are building an asset, a list of interested prospects you can market to forever. The question isn't whether this works. The question is how long you will wait before implementing it. Every day you delay is money literally walking out your digital door. Your future self will either thank you for building the system or regret waiting another day. The choice is yours.